how you can blow past your current sticking points that are holding you back with social confidence, your dating life, and your self-development journey. I'm in the middle of a 7-day live event going on right now in Miami, and I've spent the last couple of days working in person with probably 15 to 20 different guys, going all out, really. Like, we went at it probably 12 hours a day for the last 3-4 days now. And last night I'm breaking down how the previous couple of sessions went with the clients, and each of the guys are at different levels with different sticking points and different internal, I guess, self-talk and different levels of confidence, right? And as I'm going through each one of the clients, it's interesting to see the progression that they've had over the last couple of days. Some guys, they come into the program, they're not even able to go up and approach or say hi or give out greetings or compliments. Other guys are doing that, but they're stuck on just having a quick 30-second interaction. Some guys can have a longer conversation, but there's just a lot of logical, friendly talk. And then other guys are actually having 5+ minute interactions, but they're not going all the way with it. They're not pulling the trigger and really going for it to try to get on dates and really just push it as hard as possible. Now, each one of those guys came into the program at those different levels. And over the last 3 days, we've seen a massive transformation already, which is crazy because we're only about halfway through the event. And the biggest takeaway I had last night after working with several of the clients is that the guys that have made massive progress in the last 48 hours, in our sessions, I just had hyper focus on relentlessly throwing them into the next interaction, the next interaction, the next interaction. Now, obviously, we didn't just bombard them for 12 hours straight. We're doing this in small, intense but workout type sessions, but we're really pushing the quantity of repetition. I'm pushing them into the uncomfortable situation that they have, that's their current sticking point, and they're able to face that situation 10 times, 20 times, 30 times in one day. Now, it doesn't matter what your sticking point is. It doesn't matter where you're lacking the confidence. Understand that it is a situational type confidence. So a guy that has heavy social anxiety when it comes to approaching, he has lack of confidence in that particular situation. For the guy who's getting really nervous and uncomfortable at that 30-second mark in the interaction, and he has every urge in his body to just eject out of the conversation, he has very low levels of confidence in that situation. And so when you can go in and face the same uncomfortable situation with the scope of, I'm doing this as a drill, I'm going to keep hammering on this one point and just blast out repetition after repetition in a very short period of time, you can realize that you come to the realization that it's really not that difficult to overcome when you just face it back to back to back times. Because the reason that we struggle so much in any situation is that we're afraid of the situation, and then finally there's one potential opportunity to face the situation, and then we're really nervous because it's a big deal. And so we start thinking about it. Am I gonna do it? Is today the day? I'm not really in the mood. I don't know if I should do it. And because of that, sometimes we'll do it, but a lot of times we won't do it, or we'll kind of half-ass our way through it. And then a lot of times you just didn't really go for it. And also, if you just look at that, if that one situation happens once a week, some of you guys once a month, it could take you a year to have 10 opportunities of facing that situation. 10 opportunities, and if half of them you pussy out, half of them you didn't really go for it, what does that mean? That means once a year? Once a fucking year, man? Once a month? How could you make progress that way? That's like, hey, I want to get bigger biceps, so I'm gonna really break down the muscle on that one rep once a month. That's it. How the fuck could you make progress that way, man? Do you get that? So whatever your sticking point is right now, some of you guys, it's posting content. Some of you guys, it's approaching the girl. Some of you guys, it's injecting flirtatiousness. Some of you guys, it's asking the girl out. If you could just go into that situation 10 times the amount of frequency that you're facing that situation, and you'll blow past that shit, man. You'll blow past it. And that's what I'm seeing with these guys over the last couple of days. Every day, the clients are at a new sticking point. And I'm looking at them thinking, man, each one of these sticking points I struggle with for 6 months in my journey. Literally, it took me 6 months to get comfortable approaching. It took me 6 months to not eject out of the interaction. It took me 6 months to display intent. It took me 6 months to get comfortable running a conversation. We're talking about like years of progression that if you could just go at it and not wait around for a month to get put into that situation. I'm talking you just hit that situation 10 times today. I don't know what I'm going to say on the open. Well, just what happens if I just threw you into 10 interactions back to back to back to back to back to back to back? By the 10th one, you'd actually start to get a decent understanding of, oh, okay, it's not what I thought it was. But if you wait a year to have those 10, man, you'll never have the revelation. You'll never have the mindset shift. It needs to happen very quickly for you to rapid fire, get desensitized to it, and very quickly be able to assess the previous one versus the next one that happened minutes later or hours later. It needs to be very consistently happening. Long periods of time in between, your brain forgets, you don't get accustomed to it, your body relaxes, days go by, weeks, months go by. You don't grow that way. You don't grow that way. It's consistent. It's consistency at the end of the day. So evaluate this for yourself. What is the biggest part of your dating life right now, or social confidence, or posting strategy that you're afraid of? I know some guys that will take weeks to finally make that one post. What if you just made 10 posts today? I guarantee you by the 10th post, if you just started throwing them out there, the thoughts you had in your brain about what if people judge me, bro, the moment you post that first one, okay, that's gonna come in. The moment you post the second one, it goes away a little bit. Third one, fourth one, fifth one, 10th one, you don't even give a fuck at that point. So one of the biggest things, and this is not the only way to solve a problem, what I've noticed is that at more advanced levels, when you go into deeper concepts, there's more subtle nuances that will take a more skilled approach to it. But on the front end of a lot of problems, when it comes to approaching, conversation, posting, starting a business, if you just do the rep and just blast out that rep 10, 20, 30 times in a day, and you do that for an extended period of time, man, massive growth. You can accelerate years of what would be a slow, painful, torturous progression of mental torture, your brain just beating you down over and over and over again. Or you could treat it like a skill and really accelerate the process if you just make a decision to go all in. Now, one thing I'll point out is that the guys that I helped, they've been struggling. They've been trying to do this for months on end. It wasn't like this was the first time they ever did it. They've been trying this. The main difference is they made a decision and put themselves into an uncomfortable situation and had some sort of financial investment and had like-minded people around them also doing the thing. And then they had coaches that were guiding them and giving them that push and pointing out the blind spots that they couldn't see. It's the combination of all of those things that led to massive breakthroughs, okay? So keep that in mind for your own progression. If you want to fast track that process as well, if you want that guidance and like-minded people and coaching and energy in your life, you can check out the links down below. That's all for today's video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Let's go.